the woman who became the first female pilot to captain an Air Jamaica aircraft has hung up her wings more than 4 decades of commandeering the skies, and after more than 20,000 flight hours. Captain Maria Zaidi Haddad joins us to talk about her journey, literally and figuratively, her several journeys. I am so honored, ma'am, to speak to you this morning. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It is so good to have you. How are you?
I'm great, thanks, Simone. Wonderful to be here.
It's good to have you on land, and I'm happy you could take some time out to talk to us. When do you officially hang up the wings, or are you done?
I was done October of this year, October.
Oh, so catch us up a little bit on what things have been like since you've been on terra firma every day since October. What's it like to not be flying anymore?
Well, it's a great change. I can sleep in, so relaxed, do hobbies, projects. I'm my own boss right now.
Fantastic. That's a great feeling. Okay, so let's go back. Let's take a flight back in time. You knew you wanted to do this from the time that you were 5 years old. What was it about flying that spoke to you so strongly from so early?
Well, it's an amazing, wonderful journey when you're up in the skies and you're looking down on the earth. And of course, along the journey, I've met people and you've developed your skills, wonderful experiences, visiting all the destinations. But from when I was little, there was no one in my family. I had no mentors, no role models. So it wasn't until about, I would say, at least 15 years later that I actually took up the flying lessons.
Wow. And then, before we get to that 15 years hence, I mean, you actually thought you would have gone into medicine, I'm reading. You studied social studies and psychology during your first year of college in Canada. And then you were like, I'm not it. No.
No, it wasn't for me. It wasn't doing so well. And came down to Jamaica on vacation. And I just thought I'd go to the world, get a job, try something different. And I was actually on an Air Jamaica flight traveling from Montego Bay to Kingston. And I thought, well, why not? They needed flight attendants. And I had a family member who helped me get ready for that interview. And I got the job and I did it for 3.5 years. And that was a great opportunity to work, make my own money and pay for my lessons all on my own, because at the time my family didn't take me seriously and they couldn't support me financially on that. So I did it on my own. Thank God for that job.
So it really was a pipe dream, because, I mean, a woman going to fly, I mean, at the time, Air Jamaica was advertising for males only.
That's correct. For a few years they were, and I had asked, and that's what I was told. Trans Jamaica at the time when I went for a job, they had turned me down. So it was, new waters, new territories.
But and you didn't give up.
Right. The women ahead of me, the 2 women ahead of me, Mrs. Barnett and Yola King, they were flight instructors at Tinson Pen. And Yola, she went on to the JDF Air Wing. She was the first there in 1976.
So you started the lessons in 75, am I right?
That's correct.
At Tinson Pen. And then you would have done those for how long?
For 6 months at Wings Jamaica Limited with Mr. Barnett. And then I was fortunate to get a student loan bureau in 1976. And I went to the United States and did the US certificates and ratings then.
I bet by that time people started to take you seriously, no?
Absolutely. My family did, and especially my mother. And of course, my colleagues at Air Jamaica, well, there were some who were always supporting me. Flight attendants, pilots, people in various departments of Air Jamaica.
And while you were learning to fly, was it everything that you thought it would have been? What kind of experience was that for you? I mean, from Tinson Pen to wherever you went next, to be able to fly that beautiful bird that we see this picture of you standing in front of, that so many of us, man, every time we look at that bird, our hearts still feel so connected to it. What was that like for you to learn and then to actually be able to fly one of those birds?
Well, it was very exhilarating, very exciting, very epic, challenging, yes, a lot of hard work, dedication and persistence. You had to be focused, but overall, looking back, I'm very blessed to be one of those who worked with that airline, Air Jamaica. which is an iconic symbol of national pride for Jamaicans. And it's a thing of the past now. It's a great history. And I'm just very proud that I was a flight attendant and a pilot with the original 1968 version of Air Jamaica. Great history.
Yes. I think there's a book in your future. Am I right?
Well, I'll need help with that. It'll be more a photojournal. I'm not the world's best writer, but yes, I think it'd be great to do a book of sorts.
I think you absolutely should. The photos will just be an added bonus, but there are several people who will help you to write it and be willing to help you to write it. Can you tell me a little bit about that 1997 flight, that all-female crew?
Well, it seemed like a book up. I don't know if we were scheduled, but it happened that we had, I think six women on board. I don't know if somebody called in sick or if they got rid of a male flight attendant. I'm not sure, but I don't think it was planned, but it was awesome. And I believe Debbie, the first officer, she called the photographer, and we realized, wow, this was a first for Jamaica.
Gosh, there's so many historical. You see what the book have to write? It just has to be written. Longest flight to date is from Hong Kong to Cincinnati. That's 16 hours non-stop. How does one do that? Is it like matches stick to hold up how do you stay awake for 16 hours flying?
Well, you don't actually, because we're allowed to do 8 hours in the seat in that type of operation. So we had 4 pilots, and the 747 has four seats. So you would take turns, and we would split it up. So on that particular flight, I'd be 4 hours on, 4 hours off, and we would just rotate. And we have bunks on the upper deck of the 747. Most long-haul airplanes have bunks, and you have your pillows, your blankets, so you take your rest as required.
Wow, thank you for that behind-the-scenes glimpse. You've flown to over 108 countries, I'm reading. You've logged more than 20,000 hours, and here you are now in retirement. We're proud of you. It is an honor to speak to you. I don't know what your proudest moment would have been, but I guess just making history. Maybe you can tell me, when you, having walked away now, what is your proudest moment, having been in this position?
Well, having done it all through hard work, dedication, and support over the years, and I think not having any incident or violation with the authorities, and being able to maintain my Class 1 medical, never having long-term sickness, having to leave flying early, and being safe, and having colleagues, family and friends and passengers who have said, I've done a good job. I think it's a big package, and many things to be thankful and grateful for.
What an amazing blessing. Thank you so much for joining us this
You're welcome.
morning. Please keep safe where you are. We know you're not on Jamaican shore, so please keep safe. We look forward to the book. No pressure. No pressure.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you, Captain.
And Merry Christmas.
Maria Zaidi Haddad, the very same to you. Happy holidays. News in 5 is next with Giovanni Dennis. Hi, Gio. Hi.
Hi.
That comes up right now.